I feel like in the moments that we've stumbled earlier in the season, it's been because we looked like a team that didn't have a why. And I've challenged you guys about that. The why comes into play when things get a little bit tight, a little bit tense, a little bit tough. Then you can revert back to why I'm out here in the first place. What am I playing for? Who am I playing for? What is it that's going to fuel us for the next 40 minutes to get this huge conference win tonight? All right, let's go.
For Francis Marion University head coach Jeri Porter, the question of why she played the game of basketball was a big one early in her playing career.
By the time I came off the floor in high school, I was pretty burnt out. And I felt like basketball was beginning to define me at the time. I didn't know that that could be a good thing. And I really wanted to just kind of venture into some other avenues and see who I was beyond the sport.
Despite opportunities to play college ball, Porter chose to attend Liberty University, leaving her jump shot behind and focusing on school.
Liberty had not recruited me, was not one of the schools that had shown any interest. But that was just in my heart, I think, where I knew I wanted to be as a person, as a young person that was really just looking to grow up and mature as an adult, as a young Christian. I just felt like that was the best spot for me with or without the sport.
But 3 years into her studies, Porter had the itch to lace them up once again, so she paid recently hired Liberty women's basketball coach Rick Reeves a visit.
I actually approached him, sight unseen. He did not know me at all, and said, hey, I'm thinking that maybe I want to play basketball. Would you have any interest in me being a part of your team? I still to this day have no idea what it was that really kind of piqued his interest in me, but he allowed me to come in and be a part of his program. So I stepped into the program for the first year as a senior, as an undergrad senior, and then played that year and the following year as a graduate student.
Porter's impact was immediate, and in her second year, she was named All-Big South. But it would be beyond the hardwood where she'd see her biggest growth.
When I graduated from high school, I just, it was my mom's faith, it was my dad's faith, it was the faith that had kind of transcended life for me in terms of who my family was. When I graduated from Liberty, it was my faith because I really had an opportunity in those 4 years to figure out why I believed what I believed in and also to come to an understanding as to who I wanted to be.
When Porter's playing days were finished, she was offered a role on the Liberty coaching staff. But despite being from a family of coaches, she found herself reluctant. Ultimately, it would take a nudge from above for her to accept.
I feel like I was called into the profession. I feel like the Lord had to really kind of change my heart and show me how he could use me in the profession as opposed to just it being something that I wanted to do.
Porter paced the sidelines for 6 seasons as a Liberty assistant under her mentor and former coach before finally getting her first head coaching opportunity at the University of North Alabama.
That was an opportunity stepping into a new role, clearly, because now you're in charge. But it also was a defining moment for me because now you got to figure out who you are as a coach. You got to figure out who you are as a mentor, as the ultimate leader of a program, as opposed to just someone who works for a great leader. You're now that person who people are going to look to make decisions, who the kids are going to look to for guidance.
Porter excelled on the sidelines, finding success at UNA before making stops at Radford, George Mason, and ultimately Francis Marion. While she's collected over 200 career coaching victories, Porter has chosen to focus on a bigger accomplishment.
For me personally, through the course of my journey, though, I have time and time again had to come full circle back to the whole idea of ministry. To work as unto the Lord. It is to be the mentor, the leader, the coach, the mom, whatever it is that these young ladies need me to be, it's to be just that for them.
And after another big conference win on this day, there seems to be no slowing down for this once reluctant coach who is now fulfilling God's call on her life.
When I look back over just the entirety of a 24, 25-year span and all of the women who've come along, and not just the impact I've had on them, but the impact they've had on me and the difference that they have made in my life and the lessons that they've taught me. I just think it's a blessing. And I think that as long as I can stay focused on, wanting to continue to do this job as unto the Lord and not get hung up on the things that eventually are going to fade away anyway, then I can continue to do it and have a lot of joy and a lot of peace about doing it.